Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judged? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, C-O-M-I-X. So who wants to play? Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. We are officially in July. We are in England, so I'm going to take it. And July is Independent Creators Month. And I've got some great independent creators here with me tonight that you guys are going to meet. And some of you already know Ed, but new to the program is Will. So we're going to go with our Will, who's the newest member of the judging squad of Backer Pause. Will, tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Will Peden. I'm the creator and writer for Hill Turn. We are live on Kickstarter now. It is a new comic, #1 out of a mini series of 7. It's basically professional wrestling meets Dexter. That's my go-to on it.
All right, and returning champ Judge Ed Davis is back in the house. Tell him who you are, Ed.
I'm Ed Davis, the writer of the ongoing series Immortal Era. We just finished sending out all the pledges for issue 4, and we'll be launching issue 5 sometime in late July or August.
And that's fantastic news for all of you who are a fan. It's coming back soon. All right, before we get into Heel Turn, I do want to update on an ongoing situation that we've been dealing with on this show. So here it is. These are all the copyright claims. We have been trying to deal with it. We want everyone to use audio libraries like what is available on YouTube. Ben's sound is there as well. We've updated our terms. Tonight, you're going to see music on the show that I have now had to go out of my way to verify, including Heel Turn, which we have certificates. We have everything in place. I've gone meticulously through. This is more time out of my day. Please, guys, do the right thing. And this week, I learned most creators are assuming it's copyright free because they go to a certain site. You have to check the fine print, ladies and gentlemen. The fine print will tell you whether or not a show like mine could actually play it, because it's not going to hurt you and your campaign. It's going to hurt us, the ones trying to help you. And if you hurt us, that means the next time you're campaigning, we're not going to be so eager to help you. But with that in mind, with permission, because Will was nice enough to give it to us because he has the permission to give, here is Heel Turn, the video, and I'm looking for it right now. Give us 1 second. I don't know why it's not loading right. Real quick, Will, just while I'm figuring out why this video is not loading right, can you just tell them what Heel Turn is about?
Yeah, so Hill Turn follows a guy named Ethan who works your normal 9-to-5 job. He is also an independent professional wrestler with a sick and twisted hobby. He is a serial killer, but not your typical serial killers. He only chooses those that have wronged him or that he is deemed have wronged him. It's definitely a wrestling versus horror mix here.
And that's definitely a little bit of that Dexter style. We're going to have to re-upload the video really quickly because for whatever reason it didn't go. What inspired you to make this kind of book?
So I've got a background behind the scenes in independent wrestling for a while. I did a lot of stuff with the National Wrestling Alliance back in 2014 through 15, 16. I've got friends and stuff that do independent professional wrestling, and I've always been a wrestling fan since as long as I can remember. So having the wrestling stuff, I kind of wanted to have a wrestling comic book. You've got your normal ones, but they're usually like biographies and stuff. There's not a whole lot of wrestling ones that are unique. Then I'm also a horror fan. I've wrote a novel, a zombie novel before, and this idea came as a book idea. Then I decided the comic medium, I think, with the visualization would actually do more justice than just your standard novel. So I decided to convert it over, write the script out. I was able to get a fantabulous artist. I always butcher his name, so I'll just call him Rios. He's out of Brazil. This is actually his very first ever sequential art that he's done. He is a marketing guy and has done commissions, but never sequential. So we're kind of working together, both getting our feet wet, so to speak, in the industry when it comes to producing our own.
All right, I do have the video finally up. We got it ready to go. Without pause, you get to see the entire video. This is Heel Turn.
Hey guys, I'm Will, writer and co-creator of the new mini comic series Heel Turn. Heel Turn is about the life of a guy named Ethan Johnson. Ethan works a 9-to-5 job just like everybody else, but on the weekends, he puts a mask on and he entertains his fans as the archangel of extreme, Ethan Edwards, an independent professional wrestler. But the side that people don't know about Ethan, he's truly a sadistic serial killer. Hey, everybody needs a hobby, right?
All right. So, Ed, first time seeing it. What did you think?
Looks great. Yeah, I was enjoying the artwork. It looks like some really good art, and I always like the good serial killer stories, so definitely has me hooked. I every time I do Backer Pause, I have to write down which projects I'm going to go back as soon as I finish up, and this one's definitely going to be something I back because it sounds like a fun story in a serial killer kind of way. And I like the wrestling aspect that you're throwing in. I have a friend who's a really big fan of the indie wrestling, and he actually does a lot of artwork for the indie wrestlers out here. So I got to tell him about this series as well, because I'm sure he'd be pretty interested to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And with this series, I actually, when I created the video, I've been watching Backer Pause for a while, and I kind of taken a lot of the general ideas and comments as you and various guests have mentioned on there. So I was trying to make sure that I get a little bit of everybody's input and what people like and stuff like that on the video for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great video. It like I said, it intrigued me. You show enough of the art to really show off your artist and that the book's going to be a nice looking book, and you give enough of the story to hook people without throwing spoilers out there. So yeah, I love the idea, and I'll definitely be a backer.
I appreciate it. Well, where Rob is going.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
It's a cool trick. It's a cool trick. When I turn off my camera, I disappear. Jax is having a Lego issue as we speak because I think they didn't send him a piece, and that's so rare, but he's freaking out about it. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I want you to tell everyone, if they got to the table right now, what would be the pitch? Like right off the top of your head, Will, what's the pitch? And then is this an ongoing series, or will this be a limited series?
The pitch is simple. It's professional wrestling meets Dexter, an independent professional wrestler who just moonlights as a serial killer. You take a little bit of everything from professional wrestling. We get the little bit of action in the ring. Then you also get that twisted side hobby of a serial killer that has been doing this for years. You can actually go to our website, which is just heelturncomic.com, and download a free number 0 mini comic that kind of gives you the backstory of how it all started. And this is actually a mini series of 7 books. There's only 7 total. I have no plans on continuing it after the end. This is number 1. I've already got number 2 started. Number 1 is 100% completed. We are just waiting on trying to get funds to help with the printing process and things like that. But that should also help with us getting fulfillment done, is because we are 100% completed at launch.
Nice.
Very well. All right. So you guys ready to play Backer Pause?
Let's
Yes,
do
sir.
it.
Now, before that happens, I'm going to give everyone a sneak peek on something. All right. The boys in the room know what we're about to see. So starting next week, the Continuum Presents Heroics is live. It's a look into modern day heroism from the viewpoint of creators. What do modern day heroes look, sound, and act like? Find out in Heroics. So I'm going to give you a video. I'm not even 100% sure that this video is ready, but I'm going to let you guys be the judges on it. But you can't pause it because I'm here. So you have to watch the whole thing and then give me your opinion. It's only a minute long. Here we go.
Welcome to the Continuum's second issue as it hits Kickstarter with a superhero landing, and it's out to explore Heroics, featuring the origin of April and the beginnings of the Hardcore Chronicles. This is In Harm's Way, Part 1. An angel from Sad Hill takes a stand as we see this angel's origin. It's the angel of Sad Hill. A young woman who glows blue has to decide what her future is as she tries to run from the past while playing hero. It's going to be a blue Christmas. A hero takes on an after-school job and gets more than he bargained for, along with his team and the legacy of the View, the after-school job. And Mr. Anderson is back with a new tale about a reluctant hero who'd rather be wrestling and is now heroing by the hour. And the Continuum changes forever in this issue. Back it now so you can find out how.
Thank you for watching. Considering that. I know the very end sounds a little off because of the music. I don't know why that happens. My voice never really gets drowned that way. Probably something. Of course, I did something wrong. I might have had something down. But what'd you guys think?
Looks good. I love the anthology series. I mean, the first one from the series was great. So looking forward to this one. And you give a little bit about each story, which is nice. So you can kind of hook the creators in there. And then I know you do a lot more interactive stuff where you'll have videos from each of the creators later on in the campaign. So yeah, this is a good hook to get people in and make them want to read the next volume that you're putting out.
Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty good. You obviously have a wrestler style character in there that's got me intrigued on there for sure. But I've been signed up to be notified as soon as you go live on this, because I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to play out.
Now, Ed said something. He said, I'm going to have every one of the creators do something. Did you guys notice at the very beginning of the video, the 5 slices from TikTok?
I actually did notice that right off the bat.
That is because I have tried to make a familiarity with this. So I don't know about you guys, but I look at Kickstarters a lot, and I get bored really quick by most of the designs. Most people copy each other. And I started to think about it. I was like, well, what do we like? We like art, but we also like social media. So I was like, why doesn't anyone take their social media feed and put it in? The minute you start looking at things that look like social media, you forget you're on a crowdfunding campaign. You're really starting to just look at it, right? I bet you people will try to hit that like button, and then it's going to pop them up, and it's going to take them to the actual sites. Look at that. So this, I thought, was a cool way to show also our social media feeds. And it doesn't just go to my stuff. It goes to the creators who are involved with us, because we have some great creators around this time. Also, I've never seen this before. I might be wrong, but this might be one of the first campaigns to ever put a TikTok right inside of the campaign. So if you want to know more, and you said that you like the idea of the wrestler, right? So here's a TikTok about the wrestler.
It's me, Mr. Anderson, and I'm here to tempt you with some more of my tales. This one's going to be in Continuum Presents Heroics. It's about a hero of sorts. Heroing by the hour. No city is too big or too small to pay for the heroic services of the one and only superhero on Earth. That's right, in this Earth, there was only one superhero What happened is a meteorite goes across the sky, and for unknown reasons, suddenly people begin to develop powers. However, give a human being power, and we all know how that story goes. They do villainous things with it. So there's this one guy who's a wrestler, who all he wants to be is a wrestler, who suddenly can be a superhero. But he doesn't really want to be a superhero. He wants to be a wrestler. So the whole story is about motivation, which is financial, for him to go from city to city, saving towns and cities, none too small, as long as they paid for it. All part of the Continuum Heroics shifting Gemini.
Now, throughout the whole campaign, we can switch these TikToks. We can answer questions. If we have a fan base that suddenly says, hey, I want to know about this for 1 week, we could do it. Because Ed's right. We feature something. Once we go live, we have features. Every couple days, we switch up what we're featuring. So that's it. And these are ideas I hope that other people see as a way to run with it. Because I was excited when I found out we could do it. We could put in these in. And checking out some of these alt covers that are going to be part of the Continuum Heroics. Look at that. Look at the art. The art in this book is just amazing. And now we have some amazing creators to see about that. And you can see their bios and more about them. And we're still adding stuff. We're not live yet, mind you. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek. There's the man, Mike Seeley. And he's going to be doing a bunch of covers on this one. Curtis Thomas is joining us. And you can still get your original copy of the Continuum. What do you guys think? Is this a design that you kind of look at and go, I want to try some of that?
Yeah, it's interesting because I would have never thought of it. Because when you were showing us earlier, before we went live, I didn't think we were looking at a Kickstarter campaign. So it definitely is formatted in a completely different way than I've seen. So it's something I can think about, especially because I'm just in the stages of building my issue 5 Kickstarter. So I have some room to play with things, and I talk to you throughout it and see what kind of feedback you're getting from it, and see, is it something I need to definitely pursue? And that would include getting a TikTok account to start with, because I haven't gone down that path, but I know it's one I need to. I have a hard time looking on the camera and recording something. If I'm live, I can be a little looser, but when I'm recording, I'll do 80 takes and just think that everyone was garbage. So yeah, I battle that demon and get that on there, because it's another way to engage with the audience.
What do you think, Will?
Yeah, it's definitely got me thinking, because I didn't, for some reason, never even thought of adding some of the social media stuff on there. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff as well. And now that I'm seeing it right there, it makes perfect sense. I don't know why I never thought about integrating any of that, but it was definitely, especially with TikTok having that 15-second to a minute rough synopsis. I mean, it keeps, just like on a writing, you have short stories for a reason. It just kind of keeps you brief and to the point and gets it across. And on the Kickstarter, I think that could help out a lot if more people start doing it, for sure. And it's something, like you said, I've not seen it before.
I guarantee you, if we start having more creators go to TikToks, we'll see an increase in sales at Artist Alleys, because people will get used to not being long-winded. The worst thing that I've ever experienced when I'm trying to help newer creators, because I help a lot of newer creators out, and I've actually tabled with a lot of creators for their first time, they spend so much time pitching their book that they're not actually pitching their book anymore. They're just running. They're just talking and talking and never letting the other person have anything to say. TikTok teaches us 1 minute is really where the attention span lies. So we're not going to make this all about me, as much as I'd love to have a show all about me. No. We're going to get right back into it. But this is coming. Sign up now to be notified. You guys got a sneak peek behind the scenes. So welcome to it. But we're going to get onto the show. Of course, we're going to hit up our first campaign in this evening. First up on the block is, let's see, we got our good friend, Ed. I think that you might have seen this, Ruben Romero's Witch, Illusion Witch. I
believe so, yeah.
Yeah. But this will be new for, well, maybe new for Will. He said he's watched this before. We'll see. But up now is Illusion Witch for its last time on the show. He has successfully funded, from what I heard. So it's good news all around. But one more time, let's check out the Illusion Witch.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ruben Romero, creator and writer of The Illusion Witch.
And notice I can watch you raise your hand.
By and checking out the campaign. There's a lot of things that I could go into detail about the books, but I think the campaign speaks for itself. So please do me a favor, scroll down, check out the small preview of issue 1. I also have a YouTube review of issue 1. Of course, this is for books 1 and 2. So this is a great place where if you missed the first Kickstarter, you can jump on and get both issues, as well as some great rewards, hoodies, t-shirts, custom-made wooden coasters, some great art done by Alex Monick, and some great variant covers created by a slew of very talented artists. All of the information is down below. Again, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just really want to say thank you, and please come on, join me in this adventure, and let's get this thing funded. Take it easy, guys.
All right, there's nothing beyond that. I'll pause it. So you guys like the video? No reason to pause?
I had my hand up to pause, and I remember it now.
I was looking on the main screen. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll make sure I do it over this way.
Well, that's only two videos tonight. Most of the time I look down, but because this one I could see you guys, I wasn't looking down. That's my bad.
Okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, and I remember it from last time now, and the reason that I would have paused it is, first off, it's, I don't want to hear about what you have and telling me to look down, because obviously that's where I'm going to go anyway. And I love the artwork, but I didn't like the extreme zoom effect that he was doing. And I ended up backing the project because it looks like a really good project, and I do like when he comes on, he's good in front of a camera. He's a good speaker, and he seems to have a lot of passion for the project. So he kind of sells me on that. But the zooming, if I were watching it on my own, I would have just turned it off and then started to scroll down and make my decision from that.
What do you think, Will?
And I've seen Backer Pause before, so I've seen this video, obviously. One of the things that gets me on it is, the zooming. To me, it feels a little dragged out. I like my videos to be a little bit shorter, just sweet and to the point. I mean, you obviously want to sell it, but at the same time, just like in front of your table, you want sweet and to the point. Show me what you got and let me look and see what I want to back. As for his talking, I have to agree with you, Ed. I mean, he knew what he was, he knew his stuff, and he's good at presenting it. However, it would have been cool to start it with his face and then kind of fade it into some of the comic art or overlay it. So if he's still going to talk, you're still showing some words instead of just a neutral background of his house or office or wherever he was at that. But I mean, it's still an interesting book. The one thing that gets me is he has a lore. I'm really interested on what this lorem ipsum is on his logo, or if it's just a mistake. I've always wondered that.
That'd be an interesting question to ask him. But before we go on to the next campaign, I do want to introduce you to. So throughout the night, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Continuum, and I want to talk about Swerve Comics. This is huge. This is a creator, M.D. McDonald, a guy I really think is a great writer. I can't wait. He actually did the cover, that second cover that we'll get a closer look at in a little while. He did that, and Mike Seeley did the other one. He's bringing an 8-ball character to the Continuum, and this is amazing. Plus, he's going to be changing the Continuum forever with the idea that me and him are working on together as 2 writers. So pretty exciting stuff, man. Pretty exciting stuff. Like, I'm giddy. You know when you create something and you're actually kind of giddy about it and you can't wait to tell the world? Sometimes that's the worst part of doing this, is that you can't tell anyone yet. It's like, shh, I can't say what I want to say because then it gives too much away, because you know, especially the smaller ones, you're at a point where you haven't necessarily, dropping stuff, where you haven't necessarily gotten to that point yet where you can share everything. But one thing I can share with you guys is Sister of Mercies. No video here. We're just going to talk about it. This is Sister of Mercy number 4, The Inferno. A schizophrenic nun is led by the voice of God through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's ending this July 1st, so now is your time to get the nun tied up to the pole, or forever not have this covered. We're going to move on to our next video, brought to us by, this is going to be Keith, who gives us the Marin Max. So if you like liquid television back in the 90s, you're going to love what we have for you next. All right, I am paying attention this time, Ed. Oh, Ed is taking out the dog. He'll be back with us in a minute. But I promise, Ed, I'll pay attention this time at the bottom of the screen. Just raise your hand if you have a problem.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all right. And you want to pause for any reason. So here we go. Ed, did you raise your hand?
No, I was scratching.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. But that's the end of the video. Reminds me of liquid television. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I can definitely see that, like that Eon Flux look and everything. And I like the artwork. It looked pretty good. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more about the story, because it's one of those continuing things, but I don't know how it started. So you don't want to leave out the people who have no idea what the story's about. So that's something that I would say they need to work on. But the art, it sells it, because, yeah, I grew up on liquid television. I was one of those, you know, I loved watching that on MTV every week when I was growing up through high school and college. So it has me intrigued by that, but it definitely needs to build a lot more of the story to let the reader know what they actually are getting into.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. The art is great. I would like to see more, because it kind of leaves you just hanging and you don't really know what's going on. I will say I've seen this video once before on a replay of Backer Pause, and it was on my mobile phone. On a phone, you can't read. It's hard to read the few lines that he has that shows on there. Now, on the computer, I could obviously see it a lot better, but we're looking on a mobile phone, and everybody's, you know, it's all right there in your hand. You know, that makes it really hard to see. And at the same time, if it's hard for me to read, I'm not going to take my time to read it, to be honest with you. But I mean, the art definitely keeps you intrigued on there. I would like to see more of it, or, you know, at least different panels and stuff like that. But I mean, it was decent, and it's something that makes me want to at least go look at it.
And that's actually an excellent point. And I do stress that's one of the reasons we went with the look we went. We wanted you to feel like you were scrolling. And you have to look at that. Everything I do now, I have to do in 2 phases. One, how does it look on this? What I'm looking at right now is an iMac, so it's actually a big screen. And then what does it look like on this iPhone? What am I looking at? How is it going to affect the audience? So great pickup, Will. And we've talked about that, Ed, obviously on this show many a times. How you have to be prepared for the different social media platforms that people are going to be looking at this on. Because sometimes now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Facebook is beginning to allow actual other entities to open up, and they're trying to open things differently. So there could be a time where these Kickstarters are going to be opening up on Facebook. So be prepared for that, guys. How you doing, Trish? What's going on?
Hey, Trish.
We're waiting for Trish to actually be part of this as a creator very soon, where we can't wait. All right, so we're going to move on to our next campaign of the evening, which will be brought to us with no video by our good friend CB Zane. CB Zane, of course, is actually in the first continuum when you guys are going to be able to back it soon. He was the artist on a monster of a cosplay that's a dedication to our good friend Keith Thomas, who passed away. Right now, we have The Mighty Might. This is a superhero book introducing the littlest wonders of the world. So pretty exciting stuff. Great art by CB Zane. On this one also, I don't think we'll be back in time for our next Kickstarter. Our next backer pause. This one ends on the 3rd, so right before July 4th. Also leaving on July 4th, believe it or not, is going to be the Thomas Ryan Techlium Chapter 1. So we're going to watch this video and see what you guys think of it. And I know Ed's seen this one. I don't know if you have, Will. You might have. But let's check it out.
Techlium is essentially about humanity. It just kind of follows a group of people who gave up like the most human parts of themselves to protect the same humanity that they love.
We found our calling over 100 years ago. We found our worlds enthralled in the midst of a great war.
The cat raising her tail does not count.
Know nothing but productivity, peace, and plentifulness. But even in the midst of these great times, I know that one thing stands true, something that has always stood true. That all things come to an end.
The world of Techlium is set in a futuristic
All right, we're done.
And we arrive at a time of peace.
Just too long for you, Ed?
That's what happened. Yeah, when it went to the black and white art, I thought right before that was when the video was going to end, and I think that would have been a solid ending. But I mean, it's good that he wants to give more of the story, but by that point, I was tuned out.
Yeah, I have to agree. That ending there into the next one kind of definitely threw me there. I was like, what's going on here? There was only, other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent thing. I would have liked to have either some sort of sound effects or some sort of filler there towards the end of I call it the first part, where he's just showing his art and everything like that. Because it just kind of the art kept me intrigued, but the sound just kind of got me to start zoning out of it. And if he wants to do the 2-part, I would definitely recommend do the second video, but add it later on in the Kickstarter so they have 2 different videos to watch when they're ready for it. But other than that, overall, I mean, the art looks great. It's definitely something I would be interested in looking at for sure.
All right.
I agree. I would definitely look deeper into this one, but it's just, it was just a natural, it felt like such a good natural ending, and then to go beyond that threw me off. So that's where I would have paused it, but it had enough good art and the story seems interesting enough that it would keep me scrolling. I wouldn't back away from the campaign because of that.
And remember, TikTok would teach him that he couldn't go that long. So that's what I'm saying. I really think TikTok could be something of a teaching moment. We've had Rammer on the program a lot. We're not going to play the video today to make room for other stuff because Rammer has officially funded. Good. And they are moving to Indiegogo, I saw, so they're going to have more opportunity to continue to crowdfund over on, I think they're doing something else. They're on Indiegogo, or they're going in demand. So this is ended as well. So they're in demand now. We just want to congratulate them for funding. And we'll look forward to the next issue being on our show. All right. So congratulations to them on the funding. We're going to move on to our next one, which is brought to us by Preston Poulter, who hasn't been on the show in a couple months. So, oops, wrong one. Getting ahead of ourselves. This is Preston Poulter's Genevieve and Divinity Factor. New to the program, first time on the show, so both of you guys have never seen what I'm about to give you.
Hello, everybody. This is Preston Poulter here with Pocket Jacks Comics, and Guinevere 5 Make 100 adult cover is now available. This campaign is running on Kickstarter. Get it now. There's only going to be 100 copies. For those of you unfamiliar, when I finish an issue, and by the way, the color on the last page of Guinevere 5 is about to be finished. The lettering has already begun, so this issue will be finished 100% complete by the time this issue concludes. I do very fast fulfillment. If you're unfamiliar with me, last campaign I did for 4, I started fulfillment the day after the campaign closed. My initial offerings are targeted towards my hardcore backers that want to be there on the thank you page that gets put in every single printing of issue 5. This thank you page is going to be in all versions of the issue 5 printing as a recognition to my early backers. For people more interested in getting the best bang for their buck, a value campaign will be offering not this cover, but a different one at the low price of only $10. If that interests you, follow me on Kickstarter, and then when that campaign launches, you can get in. Meanwhile, enjoy this one.
I don't know why it wasn't ending it. I was clicking it. It got stuck. So what happened? What got you like, okay, I'm done?
I still don't know what book he's selling. He's a good salesman. I'll buy a car from that dude. He was solid, but I know it's a not safe for work book cover he's selling, but what's the book about? What's the actual title? I don't know quite yet, because it looked like he was wearing a shirt that was different than the book that he was selling. So for me, it was just confusion about what the project is. All I know is that it's, the not safe for work version is sold out. So he's talking about it, but I can't get it. And I still don't know what he's selling.
I think he's selling, just for the record, 100 copies of a cover.
Okay.
But I now I'm even more confused now that you mentioned. Like I was the same. I mean, it would, but I'll tell you this: it would definitely get me to look into the campaign a little bit more. What about you?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Daddy.
Yes, Jackson.
Sorry, Daddy.
I think you're muted, Will.
Well, I had my own mute on. Anyway, it would definitely get me interested in looking at the campaign, but like you said, I'm not entirely sure what's being sold. I know he showed part of a first cover, but there's no kind of art. the other cover he mentions, but you don't really see it. I'm kind of confused on what it is, but it has me intrigued on wanting to see what it is. But at the same time, from the video, I've got no idea.
I could definitely see that. And, you know, a lot of times I think when you're doing 100, though, to his credit, when you're doing a make 100, you are kind of going to your base, right, Ed? Because you want your backers that are really going to show up. And he knows how to bring the boys to the yard with his milkshakes. So I definitely think this was one of those moments where it was just knowing the secret sauce and knowing what to put out there. So when I looked at it, he had made a whole bunch of backers in this. So I don't want to show the campaign in this case because it's not safe for work. So we're going to behave ourselves and not dive in tonight because I don't want to. We're trying not to get copyright strikes on the show this week. It'll be the first week in 13 weeks we won't have a copyright or a mean letter. So let's try to keep going with Shannon Smith's Knoxville. Now, I've shown this quickly. There is no video for us to share, but we will share that it's funded. And this is Knox comic number 2, Nabrari. Does anyone know how to pronounce that word? Niobrari? Niobrari, mysteriously overcome by supernatural being. And it's up to the teenagers to save the day. So this is on Kickstarter right now. And you guys can go check it out. That'll be ending on Friday, July 9th. So next Friday. Next up is Ben. And we have Any Port of Storm. And, wrong one. Getting ahead of ourselves. Any Port of Storm is this one. And we got a video for you guys on this one. So let's check it out.
Oh, hello, Billy. What have you got there?
Oh, I've got my teleportation device.
Wow. And where are you teleporting off to today?
I'm teleporting to Tokyo, Japan.
Have fun!
Stop! Was someone just teleporting here? Teleportation is dangerous, it is irresponsible, and it is illegal! Roll a clip!
Hi, I'm Ben, the writer and artist of Any Port in Storm. Thank you so much for coming and having a look at our project. This has been a thing that's been with me for a long time. It's actually changed a lot over the years through different life-changing experiences. So I'm really excited that now we have the chance to finally publish it and get it done. Hope you have a look around and hope you see something you like. We've got a lot of great rewards with more to come, so keep checking back throughout the campaign.
All right, Jax paused him like 5 times for the record. Jax was like, change the channel. The one thing I'd give you, Ben, that was kind of a mess. You have to go in there with an editor. There's just, it did not flow right. That's the opinion I have on it. I'm surprised you guys didn't pause it. I would have paused it just because the flow did not go well.
Yeah, I was definitely on the fence. I was itching the hand up, but it kept me enough interested because the concept sounds pretty good. But yeah, it could have had a better flow. And I think him coming in at the end didn't really add anything, but he kept it brief enough that I didn't have time to pause it. So I think that's what it came down to. If he had kept going, I definitely would have gone for the pause, but fortunately it was kind of brief. So the idea is intriguing, but yeah, I think the video could have been executed better.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. It's the artwork kept me intrigued. That's why I didn't pause it. I was actually liking the artwork, trying to keep up with what the story was going. I'm still kind of confused. I know the general premises, but reading all that constantly just kind of got me just looking at the art, not even paying attention to the words. And then, like you said at the end, maybe a little bit more rehearsal on his speeching on that, but he did keep it short enough that we didn't really get a chance to have to pause him on it. But if that would have been at the beginning, I definitely don't know if I would have stuck out the whole thing.
All right, guys, we're moving on up the list to, or down the list, I should say, the other way. JT Molly brings, oh no, I'm sorry, we're about to skip over Life on Korra from our friend Mike, and we don't want to do that because this is an Under the Sea adventure. See what I did right there? So what we're going to do is play the video. When you guys get back, you'll see the banner. Here we go. What'd you guys think?
My opinion on it was I was getting ready to raise my hand on it, but it got right there at the end, right as I was ready to raise my hand. To me, it was a little too slow because I would rather read the comic physically in hand or on a digital versus it felt like he was just trying to show me the comic with lettering, the full comics and just reading it almost like reading it as a movie. It just didn't really feel like it was trying to sell me anything. The art looks good and it looks interesting, but it felt like I was trying to read a comic via a movie.
Gotcha. What did you think, Ed?
For me, I think the fact that it ended saved me from pausing it as well. But I feel like it was putting description in there that didn't make me have any more clarity about what the story was actually about. I mean, I can be sold on the artwork, but I'm not quite sure. Is it a Little Mermaid story where someone wants to become something else? I wasn't quite certain with the descriptions that we had what it was actually about, so I would need to know more.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, would it make you look into it? Was the art enough to make you actually scroll into the page?
I think I would scroll down. I would definitely give it more of a look.
New to the program tonight, we're going to move on to JT Molly. But before we do that, we want to do a quick look into, we haven't talked about it tonight, the panel 1 that's available through comicbookschool.com. That's right. The 8-page challenge wound up making an entire PDF that you can get for free. And everyone watching tonight, all you have to do is go to createcomicbookschool.forums to join and create your own story or download your actual PDF today. And we're also going to quickly look at this amazing The Angel of Sad Hell enters the Continuum this Tuesday, July 6th. And we'll see you on Kickstarter. Okay, so enough handling my own stuff. Here we go. Let's get into our next program, video. Here we go, which is the Sapphire Spectre. So let's check it out.
Hey, quick reintroduction. Alive, Sylvia Sloan, dead, Sapphire Spectre. Now, Just wanted to take this time to thank everyone who backed issue number 1. We were floored by the turnout and the response, and we had a blast fulfilling it. And oh man, you guys are gonna love issue 2 even more, because I finally meet and fight my ultimate nemesis, the Violet Void.
Hi, Senpai!
What the f***?
Silly Senpai, you don't fight Violet Void until issue 3. You get to hang with me in issue 2.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know. I just forgot.
Don't worry, I'll show off the interiors. Exposition power, go! I'm the world with the telepathy. I'm eating back up in my eyes, but there's nobody at the prize when I suck around to
Anyway, it's gonna be an amazing second issue. Series creator JT Malloy is done writing and drawing already, including a new backup story that continues the cab driver saga. So now let's talk covers. We've got a murderous row of creators doing variant covers this time, and the results are astounding. I cannot even believe the quality on display here. We have so many rad rewards for you all too, and of course, as always, it's all mailed in Geminis. We are ready to keep this series going. We have so many stories to tell.
Yeah, but this is the best one.
Shut up, weeb. Hey, JT, what's a weeb?
I don't know. I'm like almost 40.
Oh.
What'd you guys think?
Definitely entertaining. I'll give you that. It was different than the normal videos that I see on Kickstarter. But I like the fact that, yeah, it's her second issue, so she was thanking all her backers and stuff. Definitely trying to bring those guys back for sure. And then the interactions between her characters from the comic, it seems like it's from the comic and everything, because I didn't see number 1. But it has me intrigued to want to check out number 1 as well, and possibly back this one, which usually they have the bundles for sure.
That's a good point you made, Will. I rarely ever see anyone actually thank the original backers that got them to issue number 2. So well picked up. What do you think, Ed?
I think, like he said, it's different in structure than most videos you see. I would have liked to have known a little bit more about the story, because it's definitely they're recognizing their previous backers and assuming that they know. But I can go into the story to see that. And the video had a good energy and flow to it, where if I were just sitting on my computer and watching videos, I would have definitely let this one play the whole way through. I mean, it kind of starts losing me when you start showing me all the different covers, because I can see that in the story. But that's my own little peeve. I'm the one that doesn't want to see about what you have to sell. Sell me your story in the video, and then sell me your goods in the when I can scroll through it later.
All that makes sense. All right, guys, we're moving on. We're almost getting to the end of the program, so we want to get as much in as we can. We have no video to show for the Kevin Easton, and this is new to the program. There is just no video, but this is kind of cool. This is the Insecticid number 1. Can Roland P. Tramp, Hakeem's coffee-loving customer, helped him discover his powers in time to stop the reptilians? Can you tell this is the first time I've read that out loud? It ends on Why Monday. I have no idea. Just going to be a running joke now on July 19, 2021. So just that looks cool. I kind of dug what he was getting at here, and it was interesting. I definitely suggest you guys try to take a look at it today. Dustin is back with the Whisperer, so we're gonna get into that right now, and you guys are gonna check out what he's whispering about.
It's that time again, guys. The Listener Book 3 is out. Beginnings. We're really excited to bring this to you. We put a lot of work into it. So far, the entire team thinks this is the best issue we've done yet. I don't know about you, but that's really enticing to me. Our buddy ES just put together a quick video for you guys, a really nice trailer. Why don't you check that out real quick, and then we'll get into this some more. How about that trailer? That was pretty cool, huh? So now we're getting into the very first listener, Addie's grandfather, how he becomes a listener, and what's going on with those types of things. You know, now we're also moving into the fact that we're introducing the hunt for Sonny. Nostis is hot on his heels and ready to reclaim.
All right, what made you tap out?
When he went back to himself in the second half, and then he started really describing stuff in the new issue, but not kind of the overall story premise. And yeah, I kind of lost it when he's, how about that trailer? I don't know. It kind of took my interest away, and that's the kind of story I like to read. So I definitely want to give it a little bit more of my time, but not through the video.
Yeah, as for me, I can definitely see where Ed's coming from on that. To me, I think they should have just had the trailer, maybe a small introduction. Just had the trailer there, and then if he wants to talk about the story or whatever, put that in the story itself to let the reader decide if they want to watch and listen to the rest of that. Let the trailer hook them to stay on your page, and then go on through.
And I will tell Jax, you said hi, Trish, and we're going to try to wrap this program in about a little over an hour. We're just going to get over an hour, but we're going to stick to the hour format. We're going to talk about Awakening, which is now on Kickstarter. We'll probably have a video for this next week, so stay tuned for that. This is Michael's Awakening 1 through 2. A normal college quarterback has told the truth about his mother and what lies within him. And then we're also hopefully going to see on the program next week, which we've shown a couple times, that cool video from our good friend. I'm trying to find our overlay. Here it is. This is Demoness doing fantastic on the actual Kickstarter platform. Lily the Demoness, Chapter 5, Divine Punishment. And this is for mature audiences only. We're going to skip over that because I know they're doing good, because I actually want to show off for you guys. And I also want everyone to have a chance to say goodbye. Remember, Continuum starts next Tuesday, live July 6th. And there are the two covers. How awesome do those look? And here we go. Don't forget to do Sister Mercy, by the way. But our next and last video, which for some reason is not loaded in here, but just the overlay is missing, but we're going to watch the video. This is Realms of Spirit.
Spirit starts 8 days before Moses was born. There's a prophecy about 8 jewels of power that are given to 8 Hebrew children of angelic birth. The Pharaoh, Rasmus, knows about this prophecy, and he plans to take the jewels of power for himself. Little does he know there are also demonic forces after the children of power. With that being said, we have issue 1, which is called Rumble Spirits, Birth of a Living Storm. That is already printed out and ready to go. However, the first Night of Prophecy story is not complete yet. In order to do so, we must tell you the second Night of Prophecy, which will tie right back in to the first Night of Prophecy. I want to thank everyone for liking and sharing this campaign, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
What do you guys think?
The music itself was kind of odd for me. I can kind of see why. And then I don't know if it's the video format or something, but there was some scrolls of the artwork and formatting that just looked like it was squished in there and made it a little difficult to watch. I am glad that he did come on there and at least try to explain it in there. I would have rather personally heard him explain it throughout some of the art as well. Just lower the music, because I actually had to turn my mic down when the video was going, but turn it back up when he started talking. So, I mean, just a few editing things, but overall, it's something that I would be interested in looking at for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Will on this one. When I was watching it, I was thinking when the art was just moving through it, there was no context to it, so it was hard to know what the story was about. And then he came on and explained it. So I think, like you were saying, well, if he could have overdubbed his own speech and descriptions and taken that music down, I think it would have been a more effective video.
Guys, believe it or not, that's it. That's all we had for tonight's show. I thank everyone for being part of it tonight. We're going to talk quickly about Heel Turn, and everyone's going to say their goodbyes, and we're going to tell you about the power of $1. You're up first, Will. Tell them about this project.
We just went live on Saturday. Heel Turn is basically an independent professional wrestler who moonlights as a serial killer. Elevator pitch, pro wrestling meets Dexter. You mix the both worlds of a traveling independent wrestler, different cities, different nights, all around the country. And then you have the murderous style and forte that he has perfected over the years, and he gets away with it. So you've got to definitely back this one so we can continue the story and let you see if he gets away with it for life.
And Ed, when can we expect your next project?
The next project should be launching late July, early August. Really what I'm waiting on is some books that I sent into CGC that I wanted to make a part of the campaign, but they've been extremely slow. So if they stay at that rate, I'm going to launch it without those books because they're just add-on items. So we'll definitely be seeing it sometime in August. And when it'll be the same way as Will's, I'm going to make sure that everything is ready and done before we even launch so that I can do quick fulfillment. Basically, once we're done, we'll print and start sending them out right away. So yeah, that'll be coming quick. And then hopefully November for issue 6, because we're already halfway done with the artwork for that. So we're trying to keep Immortal Era moving and keep a good timetable so people don't have to wait.
All right, guys, thanks for being part of the show. Check out all these amazing creators, including Will and Ed. Give them a follow. We'll see you next week on Backer Balls.
Thanks for having me.
The power of a single dollar. One single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators creating. All right, guys. Happy July 4th. We'll see you next week.